You are listening to West New York Brews. My name is Scott. I am a homebrewer just outside of Buffalo, New York. And on this episode, I'm going to be talking to Don Bertless from BuffaloEats.org and from @BuffaloEats on Twitter. We're talking about the Buffalo Brewery Bracket that Buffalo Eats put together. They are currently in the Buffalo Taco Battle, and they recently finished their Buffalo Pizza Battle, which saw Bella Pizza as the winner. And growing up in Lackawanna and Hamburg, it was fun to see Bella Pizza win that. So Don Bertless with BuffaloEats.org. Were you there at the beginning? Did you found BuffaloEats.org? What did you do?
So back in 2009, me and my wife, Allie, I guess then girlfriend, we started Buffalo Eats as a blog to kind of keep track of the places we were eating. We were kind of like newfound foodies, and it really was like something we never thought anyone would pay attention to. And fast forward a couple of years, and we start to get a following, and we start to meet some people and build a little bit of an audience, and it kind of became like a full-time hobby that didn't really pay the bills, but was just really fun and exciting. And so we did that for a long time. We did that until 2016. We actually said we were going to retire the blog when we found out we were having our first child, because we realized, like, all right, this was fun. Let's have regular lives again. And then maybe a couple months ago, a friend of mine was like, listen, I think you should launch it back up, and I want to help you out with it. So about like 3 months ago, we kind of got really back into like relaunching the whole Buffalo Eats thing. So
congratulations on the kid. And
thank you. Thank you very much. We have a beautiful baby girl, Charlie. She's about 10 months old now.
Excellent.
So we're trying to get her into good food early, I guess.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
So I've been following you on Twitter for, I have no idea how long, for a while. It might even be just since the pizza tournament.
Yeah, those tournaments, we started doing that in March. We did a chicken wing tournament, like a best of 64 March Madness thing.
I missed that one.
Yeah, so I've always had that idea, and I don't know what happened, but we were like, it would be a good way to re-announce we're kind of back in this thing with like a giant chicken wing tournament. And it was fun. People went crazy. People people lost their minds. People had like very strong opinions about chicken wings in Buffalo. I'm sure you're shocked.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And then so we decided, like, all right, let's not do it. Let's take some time thinking the next one. So in June we did a pizza, and that was somehow actually more contentious. Like people had way stronger opinions on like their favorite pizza place. And so that was insane. And then we decided for September to split it up into like 4 different categories. So 4 mini tournaments, so to speak.
Yeah. I feel like people outside of Buffalo don't understand how big Buffalo pizza is.
Yeah.
Like it's not a thing everywhere else, but it's a thing.
No, it doesn't. I mean, everyone, they know New York style, thin crust. They know Chicago deep dish. But New Jersey has like bar pizzas, which are like basically on a cracker. But like, Buffalo pizza really isn't known outside of the area. And a lot of people who come to Buffalo, like you talk to like New York City kids who are going to UB, they don't understand it. They think it's like, they think it's a crazy, like messy, sloppy thing. But like growing up here, it's like the best thing ever.
Yeah. And I grew up between Hamburg and Lackawanna. So seeing Bella Pizza win that was big for me.
That was an upset. I had them, I think they were like a 6 seed, and I thought that was pretty good. But yeah, they really, beat out Imperial and beat out, Lenova and all the big names. So it was pretty impressive.
And speaking of upsets, the taco one is going on right now.
I know. So as we were like sending Twitter messages back and forth, my phone just kept getting notifications of people freaking out that Lloyd was losing at one point.
Yeah. Are they, we're recording 9:39 at night on Wednesday. Are they losing right now?
They are. I'm checking.
We'll go live.
Yeah, right. They're winning 51-49.
Ooh, 51-49.
With 2,300 votes. They got 26 minutes left, and they're going against Cantina 62, which I've actually never been to, but it's supposed to be a good place in Lackawanna.
My sound was out again. My
Yeah.
sound right now is going to be bad. But if
Yeah.
it works, I'm going to go with it.
Okay.
So, so back to what I was saying. I was just saying. So September 11th on Monday, you're starting the Buffalo Brewery bracket.
Yes.
You have 16 breweries, and I've laid this out here.
Oh, nice.
In front of me here, and I've put together my own bracket to see how I think people are going to vote, because that Mighty Taco thing really threw me off.
I cannot believe Mighty Taco has made it this far.
But it shows that people in Buffalo aren't always making the best decisions.
That's very true.
When it comes to things like this.
Yes.
So on the 16, let me go through the 16 seeds real quick here.
Okay.
I'll go 16 to 1. So 16 seed West Shore Brewing Company out in Clarence.
Yeah.
15 is Pearl Street. 14 is Buffalo Brewing Company. 13 Rusty Nickel. 12 Ellicottville. 11 Hamburg. 10 New York Beer Project. 9 I think is 42 North. No, 9 is Resurgence. 8 is 42 North.
Yes.
7 is 12 Gates. 6 is Old First Ward. 5 is Thin Man. 4 Woodcock. 3 Flying Bison. 2 Community Beer Works. And 1 Big Ditch. So how did you come up with these seeds?
So the way that we've done these tournaments in the past is, so Buffalo Eats isn't just me and my wife. We've kind of brought in about like 6 different people who kind of share with our social media. They're on our Instagram, and so we have like this group chat. And I did like a rough 16 just off the top of my head, kind of figuring like what I think is the best.
Yeah.
Kind of incorporating like longevity, popularity, and trying to get like a whole like wide spectrum of like what is how will this work out? My buddy Andrew, who used to run Buffalo Whiskey Guild,
Okay.
he was kind of like one of my go-to booze guys. Like when I have to ask, like, he's really good about reviewing beer and really breaking it down like that. So me and him kind of spitballed back and forth to come up with the final list.
So the list is not necessarily based on what you think people will vote for.
No, because
Okay.
it's in my head a combination of what I think is the best, and then also giving credit to people who've doing it for a while. So like Flying Bison, which we put as third. Personally, I like Flying Bison, but personally, I don't think it's probably that good if we were just doing like a what's the best.
Yeah.
But they've been doing it since '87, and I think they earned some respect out of that. So I think they should be a higher seed.
Okay. So it's somewhat arbitrary. Somewhat.
Yes.
Arbitrary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when people are like, "Why is this seed this?" It's
Oh yeah.
It's not.
Oh yeah. We already got some smack on Twitter even before these started, just about the rankings. And as you were reading that,
Yeah.
I hurled Pearl Street at I think 15 or 14.
Yeah.
I was
15.
I was like, oh, that could be our Mighty Taco.
Pearl Street. Yeah. I have CBW in my bracket. I have CBW beating Pearl Street, but it's because CBW is so strong.
They have a really good brand.
Yeah.
And for such a small operation, they really have a devoted following.
They're really good at social media too.
Yes. Yeah, that's a thing that a lot of people don't think about. A lot of like the pizza and wings, like a lot of those places moved on because they had a really good Twitter presence and just like really spread the word.
Yeah. So there's a couple of noticeable absences on the list.
Okay.
I was thinking of Southern Tier being one.
True. Yeah. So that was the discussion we had, and I wanted to keep it as local as possible.
So that makes sense.
Yeah. So it's a little far down there. I actually just went to Southern Tier for the first time last month, and it's not that far away. I mean, what we're talking like an hour and a half.
About that, yeah.
Yeah, but I wanted to keep this as close to Buffalo as possible, with some exceptions. Obviously, Ellicottville's a little bit down there. Woodcock, yeah, a little bit higher up. But I thought those were all like, I don't know, quote unquote Buffalo or Western New York.
Yeah, they're well, except for Woodcock. I was going to say they're all in the same county.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, county. We kind of pulled by that too.
Although Woodcock is not, but Woodcock is very strong.
Yeah. And I think New York Beer Project also is technically Niagara County.
Oh, is it? It's like right on the border?
Yeah, it's right
there. So, yeah, looking at the matchups here, Big Ditch. I mean, Big Ditch is the favorite,
Yeah.
obviously.
I think they're like, we put them as number one because A, I think they make really, really good beer.
Yeah.
And B, they're just so popular. They lucked out and put their place on an area of downtown that's like the hottest place on downtown right now. That's Stretch
Yeah.
on Ellicott.
It's a great location.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Josh, but there's no way West Shore is coming out on top of that.
Yeah, and I honestly don't know much about West Shore. I know they're brand new. I know
Yeah.
they're really new.
That's the thing too. They're brand new. I mean, how many people have been out there?
Yeah.
Big
Big
Ditch has the online presence, the cans.
Yeah, I mean they're in every consumer's pretty much. I mean, a lot of that stuff is just people know their brand name. I mean, some of these breweries are really great. But I love Old First Ward.
Yeah.
But like, unless you're going to Gene McCarthy's, like nobody's gonna know what that place is.
Now, Old First Ward has great beer, but I'm picking this as one of my upsets.
I can see that.
As Hamburg at 11, throwing Old First Ward off of there because of the name recognition, because of the beers at consumers.
Yeah.
You can get Hamburg beers around Buffalo.
Yeah, and Hamburg. I mean, I'm assuming that must be a pretty hot place to hang out in the South Towns too. I mean,
yeah,
it's a gorgeous facility. It's a great place to hang out.
That's my walking brewery.
Oh, nice.
It's not a great area to walk.
Yeah, you're pretty much walking on country roads out there.
There's a golf course and there's nothing else between my house and Hamburg, but it's within walking distance.
That's all that matters.
So yeah, between the two, Hamburg is one of my upsets. I think the biggest upset that I have on my bracket is Ellicottville versus Thin Man.
Okay.
I can't see Thin Man coming out on top of Ellicottville for the same exact reason.
I agree. I mean, Ellicottville, they're some of the OGs when it comes to craft beer. I mean, I remember when I started drinking in 2004, like Ellicottville was like one of the few local craft brewers that was around. I mean, it was them and like Flying Bison.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, they have that name recognition that goes back over a decade now. And then, and Thin Man is good. They kind of make some weirder stuff. It's not for everybody. Their beers can be a little freaky. I mean, Rudy is a talented brewer, but he'll make some weird stuff that maybe isn't a hit with everybody. And also, they pretty much have said, like, we're not really going to be a brewery that cans or bottles. It's kind of be in a restaurant. So unless you go there, you have no idea what they taste like.
And you've been there, right?
Oh yeah.
It's nice. It's a great place. It's
I mean, it's a great combo. You got Rocco Termini and Mike Schatzel. Like those, when you have a project with those two guys, you have some power behind it.
Which is unfortunate, but I think they're getting knocked off pretty early in this.
Yeah.
And I don't want to call Ellicottville the Mighty Taco. Although I love Mighty Taco. I'm a huge fan of Mighty Taco. But I think Ellicottville is going to be the Mighty Taco.
You know what I said to somebody was joking on Twitter about how they're sick of people like bashing Mighty Taco because everyone loves Mighty Taco, and I said that I love and hate Mighty Taco at the same time. So I totally understand it. It has a place in my life, but maybe I'm not like super proud of it.
I love that. It's a place in my life.
Yeah, but no, I agree. Like Ellicottville is good. I mean, that blueberry beer on a hot day. There's very few things that can be as refreshing. They've kind of focused on some fruitier, trendier stuff as of late, but they're still a good brewery.
Yep. Okay. Because Mighty Taco is not quite taco.
You're not wrong.
Okay, back to beer.
Yes.
But it's good, but it's not the same thing. And really, nothing on this really counts as that because Ellicottville is still beer.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, there's nobody on here that's like really phoning it in. I think all these breweries are respectable breweries in their own way.
Yeah. So those are my two big upsets where I think Ellicottville and Hamburg are gonna take over Thin Man and Old First Ward. But otherwise, I'm generally playing the favorites on this.
Doing chalk.
Generally. Yeah. Except, I mean, slightly Resurgence. I think Resurgence is going to take 42 North.
I could see that. Yeah, another thing where they're just a really big brand that's really out there.
It's their location too. They have
Yeah,
such a great location.
yeah, that place is easily one of the most fun hangouts if you're just wanting to go with like a group of like 10 people and hang out somewhere. You just go
And
to that.
I thought those two were a great choice to put right next to each other.
Yeah, yeah.
I probably would have put them a little bit higher. That's not an argument, but
I kind of I got some pushback about 42 North. Like a bunch of my friends were telling me that they needed to be higher than 8 or wherever.
personally, I totally agree. 42 North is in probably my top 4.
Yeah.
In the area. I think they make great beers.
Yeah.
But they have very few out in cans.
Yeah.
And you have to go out to East Aurora.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is easy for me in Hamburg, but not so much for people that are at New York Beer Project or at 12 Gates.
Yeah, yeah. There is some weird stigma about East Aurora where it's like a day trip or something.
Yeah, right?
I think Buffalonians get spoiled by like everything's a 10-minute drive, and then once something becomes like 20 minutes, they think it's like, well, I better change the oil in my car before I go there.
Well, about half of these breweries are within a 10-minute drive of each other.
Yeah, it's pretty great actually. I kind of was like putting like that together on like a Google map and like kind of realizing like, oh, like this could be like a fun Uber day trip or something like that.
Yeah. Speaking of which, the Buffalo Niagara Brewers Association wants you to look into Lyft, and if you use the code BNBA, you can get $20 free. We were just talking about that. The Buffalo Niagara Brewers Association.
I somehow segued into that and didn't even.
That was great. They're not sponsoring me. They should.
They should.
I'm looking at it. They should sponsor me, because that was a great segue into a promotion. Use BNBA as the code when you download Lyft, and you'll get free $20.
Oh wow! I'm going to do that. I'm going to.
I know, right?
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of negativity in this taco tournament over the last 2 days.
Yeah.
As somebody who's like pretty dialed into like the local beer community, probably better than I am. Do you think I'll see the same animosity at the beer tournament?
It depends on who wins.
Okay. You think there could be some wins that'll just like piss people off?
For example, and again, this is not. I don't want people listening at each of these breweries, because I know people at every single one of these breweries.
Yeah. No, I don't want you to
But if Rusty Nickel at 13 takes over Woodcock, I think people are going to be upset.
Yeah, that would be a big upset.
And although I have Rusty Nickel taking over Woodcock in my bracket.
Oh, okay. Another one of those things where just Woodcock's,
because of location.
Out in the middle of Wilson.
I've been out to Wilson to Woodcock Brothers, and it's really nice in there. They have phenomenal beer.
Yeah. And I mean, that IPA, people like literally line up in the morning to like get it.
The XPAs.
Yeah.
If you're in Buffalo and you've never been out there, we just passed festival season, but Buffalo Beer Week is coming up, and September 23rd through October 1st, and Woodcock Brothers, their Fall Fest is coming up, and you can taste like all the breweries in one place.
Nice.
For the Fall Fest, I'll look up what date that is, and I'll put it in the show notes for this, which will be at WNYBrews.com/bracket, because we'll talk about the bracket after that. But I think Rusty Nickel is really popular with some of my friends.
Okay.
Who are South Townspeople.
Oh yeah. Especially, West Seneca, they're huge. Ebenezer Ale House is like packed every time I've ever driven by it. So yeah. But yeah, so that actually is a good point. I could see that happening.
It's a 13 over a 4.
Yeah, I think like beer nerds can be opinionated. I don't know.
We're very opinionated people.
Yeah, I'm curious to see the hostility that I would potentially be getting as I am getting right now.
Yeah, there's not much hostility. There's not much.
That's good.
I think Pearl Street is unfortunately, I think, is going to get rolled right away.
Yeah.
By Community Beer Works, which I like Pearl Street a lot, but it's against Community Beer Works, and Pearl Street doesn't distribute yet. But Community Beer Works does. And you know what? Maybe I'm wrong on this one. Maybe Pearl Street will be the big upset.
Yeah, because you never know. Like, we have a pretty good chunk of Canadian followers, and a lot of their beer knowledge of Buffalo is going to Pearl Street before a Sabres game or before a Leafs game or something like that. So I know there's a lot of Pearl Street fans out there.
That's true.
And I like Pearl Street. It's just, they're one of those places that were in early. And so I think they kind of get lost in the shuffle of all the new kids in town.
Yeah. And Pearl Street on this doesn't include Lafayette or Riverworks. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel bad they're so far down on the list, but it's just one of those things. I think things kind of have passed them by. I mean, they're still a staple. They're still packed every night of the every weekend. But it's just like, the new cool kids in town kind of get, I don't know, I get caught up in it.
Well, that was the point I was making, is that some of the new cool kids are Pearl Street properties.
Oh yeah.
Riverworks.
Yeah.
Is absolutely packed. I couldn't find parking there, and I was amazed at the size of their parking lot.
I know. Isn't it insane that people are like trouble finding parking on like Ohio Street and like these areas that are like you would have said that 10 years ago, people would have thought you're crazy.
Although I drove there in July and I was thinking like, this isn't Buffalo. Where am I? This is different.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I mean, honestly, the easiest thing about running this food blog has been the last 4 years. Those first couple of years was a struggle. We were trying to get excited about, a little opening here or there. 2014 comes along and, there's like 20 new exciting restaurants every year. It was easy to write about it.
Did it line up with the food trucks?
Yeah, the food trucks too. I mean, Lloyd was the first in 2010, but
2010. Wow.
Yeah, but it took a while. The first couple of years there was like, a truck here or there. But by 2013, you're seeing like 10, 12 trucks a year pop out. We're well over 60 at this point.
We're waiting on a brewery truck.
Yeah, I actually went to San Francisco and went to like a food truck park, and there was a beer truck, and it just had like all kegs like right in the front. You could like see which one you wanted to pick out.
Did it have other people's beer? I'm talking about one where the beer is brewed on the truck.
That would be very impressive.
It's going to have to be a big truck.
Yeah, that would. I mean, maybe like a school bus type of setup.
That's a great idea. All right, people, I'm cutting this out so no one else can steal this.
Yeah, just bleep all of that.
All right, so let me talk about the contest I want to put together.
Yes, it's a great idea.
Just because I like brackets.
Yes. See, that's the universal thing about these tournaments. We had people back in March when we did the first one, and they're like, "This is the most exciting sports thing in Buffalo in like a decade."
Barbell won that one, right? I looked it up and we didn't mention it.
Yes, Barbell won wings. Bella Pizza won pizza.
Barbell has great wings.
They do have great wings.
I'm glad I wasn't in that one because I probably would have been upset about that one too. I always tell people.
But Moser's made it pretty far, I will say.
Yeah, Matt Moser's is great.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of wing. I like Doc Sullivan's wings and Matt Moser's wings.
Yeah.
But they're both different kinds. Sorry.
Yeah.
I talked to people online from Texas or from like Minnesota, and I don't know why I just pulled those out. But when they mention wings, they didn't even get, like, they understand we're from Buffalo.
Yeah.
But they don't understand how big they are even here.
Yeah.
I don't know what a good counter example would be.
Well, because you think of like Chicago's deep dish, but then you ask people who live in Chicago, and they're like, "I never eat deep dish pizza."
Yeah.
Yeah, but like people in Buffalo, like, yeah, we'll eat wings once a week.
Easily once a week.
Yeah.
I had to ask, like, how often do you have wings? And the friend in Texas was like, I don't know, maybe once or twice a year.
Yeah.
I'll do potato skins, or I'll have some wings like once or twice a year. Like, no.
Yeah.
That's no. Like, you could be eating healthy here and still have wings multiple times a month.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of become like Buffalo's soul food. In kind of a weird way. Like, it's like a comforting thing. Like, everyone, you think of like, okay, if we're gonna have a bunch of people over, let's just get some pizza and wings.
You get some pizza and wings.
Yeah.
You help people move, you get pizza and wings.
Exactly.
So the contest I'm doing, and I've already got some submissions, which is awesome.
Oh, awesome.
If you go to WNYBrews.com/bracket, I'm taking what people are going to be voting at Buffalo Eats on Twitter, and I want you to fill out a bracket for what you think people are going to vote, not necessarily what you think are the best beers. And that's really the caveat here, is you'll want to get the bracket as best as you can, as accurate as you can. And I'll take the best bracket, and I'll buy that person a growler or a $15 consumer's gift card so they can fill up their own growler. Unless they live close, then I'll offer to take them out to to one of the Hamburg places here.
Nice, nice.
So we've had some people submit already. One of them had some very similar upsets to me, Ellicottville and Hamburg going through.
Oh, wow.
But I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what my bracket looks like. And you can tell me if you think anything different. And then
okay.
Thank you for talking. We can wrap it up. I feel bad I'm taking so much of your time.
Oh, no, not at all.
I love talking beer and food, so it's...
Yeah, same.
I think Big Ditch, first of all, I'll spoil it. Big Ditch is winning this.
Oh, okay. You're going
each round. Big Ditch against West Shore, against Resurgence, against Flying Bison, and that's how we're getting there.
Wow. Okay.
Is my best guess. So I've got Big Ditch in the first round taking West Shore. I've got Resurgence over 42 North for the same reasons I mentioned. Central location and more distribution.
Yeah.
Rusty Nickel taking Woodcock because of their location.
Yeah.
Ellicottville taking Thin Man because of their distribution and their history.
Makes sense.
Which puts, I know I'm going one side of the bracket instead of seeded. Which puts Big Ditch against Resurgence, and I think Big Ditch takes that.
Okay, I agree.
And Rusty Nickel against Ellicottville, and I think Ellicottville takes that. Although I still think Woodcock against Ellicottville takes that.
All right.
So then Big Ditch against Ellicottville, Big Ditch wins.
Okay.
Other side of the bracket. CBW Pearl Street. I don't think Pearl Street has a chance here, and I feel bad because I like a lot of Pearl Street beers. I go and get my kegs filled there.
Nice.
It's a great price, and it's great beer to have in the house here.
Nice.
So I think CBW takes Pearl Street. 12 Gates and New York Beer Project. I love New York Beer Project. By the way, really great wings at New York Beer Project.
Really?
They might be smoked, they might be baked, but they're smoked, they're baked first, and then they're fried to finish them off.
Okay.
And they're really juicy. I like their wings there a lot. So I have 12 Gates taking that because it's more centrally located in Williamsville.
I agree.
And then CBW taking 12 Gates. And then I have Flying Bison going over Buffalo Brewing Company. By the way, very close. If you're going to Flying Bison, check out Buffalo Brewing Company.
Yeah. That was kind of a place I didn't really know too much about until I started making this poll or the rankings. Buffalo Brewing Company. I didn't really know too much about them until I was starting to look through and make this whole list. But
I didn't notice until now there are a couple of places that are next to each other. Was that on purpose or is that just a coincidence?
Just total coincidence.
Okay, because 12 Gates, Williamsville, New York Beer Project, Lockport.
Yeah, it's not too far.
Probably have people who have gone to both voting in that one.
Yeah.
So Flying Bison probably taking over Buffalo Brewing Company for the longevity, for the distribution. I don't think Buffalo Brewing has a chance here.
Yeah, Rusty Nickel's huge. Everyone knows Rusty Nickel by now.
Flying Bison?
Bison. Yeah, they know that they not Rusty Nickel, Rusty Chain. Everyone knows Rusty Chain.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean they sell it at like TGI Fridays.
Yeah, and it's a great beer. I love Vienna lagers and Rusty Chain.
Yeah, it's really great.
Old First Ward versus Hamburg. I think Hamburg takes that for distribution. More people will have had Hamburg. More people will be voting Hamburg.
Yeah,
which puts us Flying Bison against Hamburg, and I think Flying Bison takes that. Which puts Big Ditch against Flying Bison. And it's going to make Tim Herzog sad. And I've never seen Tim Herzog not smiling.
I mean, he's got that mustache.
So it's Big Ditch against Flying Bison. I think people are gonna say, Big Ditch is the new guy in town. Yeah. Good beer, good location. I think Big Ditch is going to take it.
I think so too. That's kind of why we put them number one. I just think
Yeah.
they're the favorite because they have everything going for them. Not only a huge production facility where they're pumping out cans like crazy. Uh, their beer is some I think the best in the area, and their
Yep.
place is just a really awesome hangout that people want to just sit on the outside or play shuffleboard all day.
It's a beautiful place.
Yeah, they did a great job. They did a really great job with that place. You walk into it and you think like 10 years ago this never would have existed in Buffalo, and now it's just a gorgeous centerpiece right downtown.
Yeah. So that's what my bracket looks like.
I like that bracket.
If you want to fill out a bracket, go to WNYBrews.com/bracket. I just made it up at printyourbrackets.com, and I tried to contact them and say, hey, can I do this? And no one contacted back, so I just did it.
Go with it.
I'm not affiliated with anybody. I'm not affiliated with Print Your Brackets, with consumers. Nobody is. I'm not affiliated with anybody.
They should hit you up though.
Yeah, right? Agreed.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you during the Buffalo Brewery battle, and I kind of randomly picked the hashtag I assumed you were going to be using, BUF Brewery Battle.
Yes. It's a fair assumption.
I'm going to be really active. You can bet next week on all of these.
I'm excited to see it. Yeah, I'm excited to see the turnout because so we have 4. So right now we're watching this taco battle where Lloyd just lost.
Lloyd lost.
Yes.
Oh, this is breaking.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
So people are freaking out about tacos. Next week is breweries. The week after is chicken finger subs.
Oh, that's going to be tough too.
Yeah, and then to finish it off is beef on weck, which I think.
Okay.
I thought beef on weck might be the sneaky one that people get real riled up about, but then this taco thing is really.
There can only be one beef on weck, and that's Schwabel's.
It's a very valid point. I would say they have a very strong chance because they're one of the few places where you can actually order how well done you want your beef on weck, which I think is clutch.
So I'm putting that out there. I will be upset if Schwabel's gets knocked out before the final round.
They're a very high seed. I think they're at least a 2 and maybe a 3 at the worst.
I like going there with no TVs and they have Flying Bison beer on tap.
There you go.
They might have other Buffalo beers as of recently, but last time I went there and every time we've gone there, it's only been Flying Bison. Got myself an Aviator Red and the best beef on weck in Buffalo. I don't want to hear it.
Nice. I like that. I think Flying Bison actually pairs really well with all this stuff.
Yeah?
Yeah. But yeah, so it should be an interesting month. Well, hopefully we'll we'll start some fights on Twitter. That's kind of what this is all about. It's really just watching it all burn.
46 to 54 too.
Yeah, it's kind of just watching all this burn down and people freak out. It's entertaining. We're thinking of something really epic for December, but we're still in the works. So
all right. Well, yeah. Don, thank you so much for talking.
No, thank you, Scott, and thank you for keeping the local podcast thing going.
Local podcasts.
I'm a huge podcast junkie, and I'm always excited when I see some local ones because I think it's like a super underserved market, and keep fighting the good fight.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
I'll see you on Twitter for sure.
Yeah. Cheers.